Thank you. It was November 2008. Though the year was coming to an end, we were very excited for a family holiday to Maldives, which we had planned for several years. This very awaited holiday was just one day to go. I remember seeing 8 p.m. on the clock when I picked up my phone to call up my son, Anish. I wanted to excite him about his scuba dive had been confirmed in Maldives. But he didn't respond. I said to myself, this guy never answers my calls. I decided to call him a little later. 2 hours later, I called him again. And again, no response. I gave up, thinking that I will wake him up with this exciting news tomorrow. It was past midnight. I was fast asleep. There was a very disturbing sound. I thought it was in my dreams. But I sprang up to sit down when I realized that it is the ringtone of my phone. The kind of call you don't expect that at that hour. The type of call you don't want it. Rubbing my eyes and reaching out for the phone, I reached out and put it to my ears. Dad, I am in a restaurant opposite Trident. I'm very terrified. There is firing going on here, and I can see action. The terrorists are really running amok, and there's chaos. Dad, I'll try to come as soon as I can if I'm safe. And my phone battery is... And the phone call suddenly ended. Time stopped. I froze. The only sound I could hear was of my heartbeats, where thousands of thoughts were flooded and passing through. I quickly woke up my wife, nervously broke the news to her, and when I switched on the light, I found she was sitting shocked and surprised. We looked into each other's eyes with that one question: will we ever hear his voice again? At that one moment, everything changed. My focus, my thoughts, my priorities, everything changed. We couldn't sleep the whole night. Early morning, there was a knock on the door. I leaped forward, thinking it'll be Anish. I opened the door, and there he was. I hugged him in excitement. We were very happy. We thanked God that he's back. And it was really exciting for us. At that moment, what happened was that our joyous moments turned into the focus on the TV screen, where the whole world was glued onto one spotlight, and that was on the terrorist attack in Mumbai. The next 3 days, Taj became the epicenter of a horrific siege. Guests were terrified. Gunfire was echoing in the hallway. Flames engulfed many parts of the hotel, and the terrorists had a free run with their automatic weapons and grenades, creating havoc. But amidst this horror, there was an extraordinary extraordinary display of act of courage and leadership. When the situation became beyond the local forces, the National Security Guard, India's elite counter-terrorism force, NSG, was called in. They had been on a 14 hours alert, a 15 minutes readiness alert, where they can't even take out their boots for those 15 minutes. So they got into the transport aircraft, 3 hours of flight to Mumbai, and when they reached Mumbai, they were in a state of physical and mental fatigue. They had no information. No maps were provided. And the only information the commanding officer, CO, had was the one he had seen on the TV. As he stood there, as the commanding officer was being briefed, he was told that there are 3 missions which have to be done simultaneously, and each one, Taj, Trident, and Nariman House, equally critical, and nothing was more or less important. Now let me tell you that the NSG is designed, equipped, and structured for one mission at a time. The commanding officer, without losing his cool, divided his force into 3 groups, simplified the mission into 2 sentences, making it clear and simple. No civilian casualties. Nab all terrorists, preferably alive. And then he trusted them for their courage, for their teamwork, and let them go. The commandos worked in buddy pairs and searched more than 500 rooms in 72 hours with no water, no food. They ate and drank whatever they could find. And 72 hours, not a wink of a sleep. Yet, they accomplished the mission with 0 casualties in civilians. And this became the subject of a world study. Then came the hotel staff. The spotlight also must shine there. The hotel staff was completely cooperative. They worked in unison, all departments, and acted with a lot of courage. A few days back, I met Chef Nitin Minocha. At that time, he had 12 years of service, and he was at that time employed in a kitchen. Today, he is, with 29 years of experience in the same hotel since then, the executive chef. This is what he has to say. They just lived their value systems. Now, after having seen all this, I want to share some lessons with you. But before I come to that, I want to tell you that Maldives never happened. But this one incident in my life made me change the way I think. And from the NSG's precision to the selflessness of Taj, one great lesson we all learnt was that greatness doesn't emerge in comfort. It is forged in adversity. So, I have picked up 3 profound lessons that I can leave with you, which you can all apply in your own lives, both professionally and personally. and I call them ETR. So remember ETR, E is for embracing reality. Now, challenges don't knock and come. They crash into your life uninvited. When the CEO NSG was facing this crisis, he didn't buckle. He handled this chaos with calm precision, and we saw the results. So, what can you take away from this? In chaos, pause and think. What is that one critical thing I can do right now? Prioritize and take decisive action. The next one is T. T is for teamwork and trust. Success doesn't come from the brilliance of individual work. It is built on the strength of collaboration. You saw that NSG commandos worked in buddy pairs and did a great job trusting their lives for each other. So did the members of Taj. Total collaboration. So what can you learn from it? Build trust by fostering open communications, shared goals, and delegation. And lastly, we come to resilience. A lot of speakers have spoken about resilience today. So, resilience is not about acting in adversity or enduring adversity. It is about rising stronger. When the general manager, Karambir Singh Kang, he acted with that resilience where his purpose was his anchor, and he guided the rescue operations despite him having lost his wife and 2 children on the 6th floor just a few minutes ago. What can you learn from it? Identify your purpose. It will anchor you in tough times. These lessons don't belong to Taj or belong to 2611. They belong to all of us. We must know that these lessons can be applied by anyone everywhere. So, when your moment comes, and it will, then lead with courage, work with trust, and rise with resilience, because the true battlefield is not a place, it's a mindset and a heart set. Remember, ETR. Jai Hind.